Finally, the whale pivot model, order flow, and footprint charts explained. So, what is the whale pivot model, guys? Okay. So, first of all, most traders are just staring at regular candlesticks, right? They're staring at just regular candlesticks and they're completely trading blind, right? They see price moving, but they have no idea who is actually moving it, right? And that's why traders they panic out of winners, right? They chase fake breakouts, they force entries, and they blow funded accounts, guys. Because regular candlesticks like this, right? They don't show real participation in the market, right? So in this video, what I'm going to talk about is my whale pivot model, okay? My whale pivot model, what it actually is, and how I use these footprint charts, right? How I use these footprint charts and order flow, and how the whales leave clues in the market. And this is what changed this is what changed the way I trade NQ, right? And by the end of this video, guys, you'll trust me, you'll understand why traders are guessing while professionals they wait for confirmation, right? So first of all, let's talk about the real problem with traders, okay? They see these the candlestick patterns, right? They have these trend lines they draw from here to here, right? And they believe that this is market participation, right? They try to do breakouts over here, right? Breakout right there, and then they get stopped out, right? So people are drawing like these trend lines. They're trying maybe drawing like these fair value gaps here, like that, right? But that's there's so many fair value gaps. There are fair value gaps in every 2 minutes. There's a fair value gap here. Why did this fail, right? And why did this work over here? So you're just really guessing at this point, guys. And you guys love it to put RSI. You like to draw support and resistance. You love to use indicators. But none of that shows you who's trapped, right? Who's aggressive and who's absorbing, and actually who is like controlling the move, who's controlling the market, right? Because this candlesticks are just the result of what is happening right here, right? This is just the result. Candlesticks like this are just the result of what's happening inside these candles, like right here. Order flow shows the participation behind the move. Okay. And the market leave these clues every single day. And most traders, they don't know how to read these kinds of things. This is called a footprint. So that's why I created my whale pivot model, guys. Okay. And it's built around three things. Just three simple things, guys: absorption, aggression, and a delta flip. Okay. That's all you got to know. Just thinking that in your head: absorption, aggression, and delta flip, right? And these three together help me read real participation, right? Real market intent, and high probability continuation moves and pivots in the market, right? So let's go. This is TradingView, and these are my footprint charts, as you can see here. Right, it's a chart type that you can use on TradingView. You could use it by switching here to candlesticks, or you can use it by switching over here to footprint charts. Right. Okay. Now the basic explanation for footprint charts is that you could see the buying and the selling inside the candle. So right here, all right, you could see the buying on the right and the selling on the left. Okay. On the right, buyers are lifting the offer, and on the left, sellers, like right here, sellers are hitting the bid, pushing the price lower. So you can see that, and then there's a number attached to it to tell you how much volume it is in there, right? For this, right, if you switch over to regular candlesticks, you can't see that, right? So the footprint charts actually show who's winning the battle inside the candles. Is actually showing the battle between buyers and sellers, the push and pull. And you can make a decision off that data, right? And that's where traders don't understand, right? Like you're going from trading this to this inside the candle. So you can finally see who's buying and selling at that exact moment, right? So that should be the biggest edge for you, right? So now let's talk about absorption, right? So absorption is sellers on the left actually hitting the bid, right? Trying to force the trade lower, right? So for absorption to happen, like around this guy, for example, this is 416 seller volume and it's highlighted in red, right? So with this amount of selling pressure in the market, it's supposed to push the price down like over here, like this candle, right? It's supposed to look like this candle. But on the other hand, it closed green and above this 416, right? So that means that big buyers were absorbing all of these sell orders right here. There is a bigger buyer or bigger buyers absorbing all of these sell orders. Now, what happens next? These sellers are trapped, right? And this can fuel the continuation move, right? It could fuel it, right? Because you could sense that somebody big is defending this price because it's supposed to push price lower, but it does not, right? Now let's talk about aggression, right? So you have absorption first, you see it. Then you have to follow it up with absorption. Are there imbalances here, right? Are they more aggressive buyers than sellers or more aggressive sellers than buyers, right? So here it's telling you who's in control now, right? This is a bullish imbalance right here. Okay, it's marked by the lime green, and the way to read imbalances is diagonal, right? So from 33 to 200, I consider that an imbalance because it's 300% more buyers than sellers. Boom, right there. If you want to do it on the sell side, right? For example, right here, 18 to 172, right? That's 300% more sellers. So you're going to get a purple marker right here, right? It's going to push price lower. So that's how you read these imbalances diagonally on the footprint. So let's go back to our example over here, right? This 220 came in. That's aggressive buying. What happens next with these trap sellers? Like I told you, there's expansion. Okay, 100, almost 100 point move over here, guys, from this absorption, right? So we get this aggressiveness to the upside, right? We look at these are all imbalances, right? These are aggressive buyers. These are buyers taking control of the market, right? So for an example, for a seller like this one, right? Um, sellers were in control of each of the price level here. That's why I brought it down, right? So you're seeing all this aggressive buying here. Now, this is not random retail activity, guys. This is real participation entering in the market. Large hedge funds, um, um, pension funds. These are the people that are entering around this area. Okay, so now let's go to Delta, right? So Delta, simply put, guys, it just tracks the aggressive participation. When the Delta flips positive here in green, that means the buyers were in control of this candle, right? Right here, if it flips negative, that means sellers took control of that candle, right? And that's just confirming momentum instead of guessing, right? Instead of guessing, just look at the delta. Who's control of this candle? Boom, positive buyers, and then negative sellers, right? So this is where the confidence, guys, this is where the confidence starts to change for you guys. This is when the confidence starts to build up, right? Because most people think they have emotional problems, right? Psychological problems, right? But honestly, what you're missing is not mindset, guys. You're just missing confirmation, right? When you can see the absorption, the aggression right here, and then the delta flip right here, right? You can clearly see that you're not gambling, right? And then confidence comes from that confirmation. So let me should show you again. That was just an example, but just today's example, just for today, because it's already fresh in my head, right? Today, we had a pre-market plan um, of taking a break and retest of London high and previous day high here, as you could see, right? Um, and my this trade example goes through the location, the whale activity, the aggression, the delta, the continuation, right? And this is high probability because we have all these confluences coming into one spot on the chart, right? And this is how the order flow helped me, you know, hold this trade confidently, right? We see this aggressive imbalances down here. We see the delta flip, right? We have the location. We're gonna take this trade. The next candle. What does it show you again? Aggressive buyers again. Do you see any sellers coming into this candle? No, you don't. When you've already entered, right? You enter here, right? And you put your stop below here. If you get stopped, you get stopped out quickly. If it goes in your favor and you're managing it candle by candle, right? You can hold it confidently to your target. And my target was right here at New York high, right? So we saw aggressiveness on this candle, right? And then we saw more aggression on this candle with absorption right here, right? With a delta. The deltas are all green all the way up to New York high, guys. And that's how you trade confidently and hold positions confidently, right? This whale pivot model that I've created is not magic, right? It's not, right? You put in the work. You have to read the participation, you have to wait for the confirmation, and you have to identify the high probability moves, right? But most traders, they're just reacting to candles, to candlesticks like this, right? Candlesticks like this, right? They're not reacting to market intent like how I am reacting to it. I could see it in plain sight inside these candles, right? And that's exactly what I focus on inside the premium access in my Discord, right? We'll go over. Let me just pull it up right here. Hold on. Let me just pull it up the premium section on the Discord here, right? So pull this up, right? On the left side here, right? We have live market breakdowns. I teach you about the whale activity. I give you the education part of it. I give you how to manage it, right? I give you detailed trade recaps of it. I give you the live recaps. I give you the recordings that we go through. I give you the real time confirmations, right? So, guys, if you're serious about mastering order flow, right, and reading candles, like reading order flow and reading footprint charts like me, right, and actually reading market participation, guys, you have to learn the whale pivot model, right? It is the only model. It is my creation. If you heard it before, if you heard aggression, absorption, and delta flip, you heard it before, but you have never heard of it in this context that I use it in this framework. And that's why I focus inside my premium access with my members. Every day, we go through the daily bias, and I give them live market analysis, my thought processes between what I just showed you right now. That's my whole thought process, right? And then you learn it, and then we take trades together, and we learn off of each other, and um, we learn. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, but we learn off each other, and it's an area where I'm one on one with all of them in there. They have exclusive access to me, answer questions, um, you know, break trades down, and we do that all in the premium access. So if you want that, if that's something you're interested in, I'm gonna leave the link in the description. And yeah, go back test it. Let me know what you think. Put these footprint charts on your charts, and let me know. Comment below and let me know how it goes for you. All right. I'll see you guys on another one later.